Hello, my officiant friends. This is Reverend Crystal from I Do Wedding Officiant Prep Program, and I'm so glad that you're taking a little minute to listen to this video. I wanted to share with you my first experience leading a wedding ceremony, and really to say these are the mistakes that I made and that I learned from, because you can't avoid making mistakes. But I don't want you to feel alone. So here I was the associate minister at one of the largest churches in the country for my denomination, and every Sunday I got up and I spoke, I led classes, I led meditations, all of those kinds of things. So I was used to being in front of people. And yet when it was time for me to do this wedding ceremony, I was really, really nervous. Early on, I made it a practice to go to the wedding ceremony at least a half an hour early to check on everything. And I'm really glad that I did, because the ceremony was being held in the backyard of the couple's home. And they had indicated they wanted to do a candle lighting ceremony. Now, the operative word here is it was outside. But because I got there early, I found out that they thought that I was going to supply the candle and all the candle lighting supplies. And because they had requested it, it was my assumption that they were the ones who would supply that. So a couple of friends got together, and they helped to put all the ingredients together so that when it came time to do the candle lighting ceremony, we did. Now, when it was time to do it, the wind had kicked up by that time. So the individual flames that the couple joins as one kept blowing out. And then when they were finally able to get it lit long enough so that they could light the central candle, that light kept blowing out. So it was almost like they were saying, oh man, this is an omen. Oh, this is a terrible thing. And they were very, very serious about it. So it was important for me to just assure them that it was only the weather, that their love would be lasting, and that it was a deep love, and that nothing could take away that love that they had found. Now, it was also very interesting that about 6 months later, the groom came to me and told me that they were getting divorced. So maybe it was an omen in the first place. But during the ceremony, you want to be as supportive as you can. But also, I learned that don't do a candle lighting ceremony outside, because you just can't control the wind. I do constant battle with the wind. So if you can't talk them into maybe doing a sand ceremony or a water ceremony or something else that isn't going to be as susceptible to the elements as flame is, then you have to get like a hurricane lamp, which is this jar kind of thing that fits over the flame and it protects it from going out. So I learned that lesson as well. Now, after the ceremony was over, I went out to greet some of the guests and to get some kind of feedback about what they thought of the ceremony, because I had never done one before, right? Well, they said they couldn't hear me. So when I looked at the setting, I realized that because it was a small ceremony, they had kind of set up where the guests were sitting from where the bride and the groom and I were sitting, quite a distance away from each other. So if you're like me and you don't project very well, you need to be close enough to the people who can hear, because a lot of them come from miles and miles around to hear this couple share their wedding vows. So you want to make sure that they can hear you, or you need to get amplified, which is what I do if it's 30 people or over. So I learned that's another thing that I check when I go to a ceremony that's outdoors, especially smaller ones, is to make sure that the seating isn't too far away from where I am with the couple. So I hope that those mistakes that I made are things that you can learn from, and that it's helpful for you, because I really want you to be a success. These are the kinds of things that I will share with you in the Ready, Willing, and Able Officiant Prep Program. So thank you for taking the time to listen, and I would love to have your response. Maybe you have some mistakes that you've already made, or maybe you've got some mistakes that you're afraid of making that I can help with, or we can post that on the I Do Wedding Officiant Training Prep Facebook group. So, please feel free to ask for help and to join in the conversation, because we got to be here for each other. So again, I look forward to seeing you being the one who is leading a couple in saying their I do's. It's a lot of fun. All right. Thanks again. Bye.